Back in Android Studio, now that this application has a Git repository associated with it, a new tab appears at the bottom labeled Git, and you'll see that there's a keyboard shortcut associated with it. In Android Studio 4.1, you'll see the Git tab appear. In earlier versions, you'll see a version control tab. In 4.1, when you click on Git, in the console you'll see everything that's happened from the command line in response to what you asked for from the Android Studio user interface. So now that you have your project uploaded as a GitHub repository, you can start making changes, and you can commit those changes or roll them back or do all the other things that are possible with Git. Android Studio's Git integration lets you easily clone existing repositories, making your own copy of the repository on your local development system. To work with this, go to GitHub in your browser and select a particular repository. I'm going to use a repository from another course. These are the exercise files for a course that describes how to build a simple Android app using Jetpack libraries, reusable components from Google. You can follow along with this repository or any other repository you select. On this page, click the Code button, and then click this button to copy this URL to the clipboard. You won't see any visual feedback when you do that, but the URL will be copied. Now go to Android Studio's welcome screen and click on Get from Version Control and paste the URL into that text box. In the directory setting, you can choose where you're going to put your copy of the repository. I'm going to change this string so that it doesn't represent the course the repository was from, but instead the application. And I'm going to call this plain old notes 4, because that's the name of the app and its version. I'll click Clone, and that downloads the files from GitHub and immediately opens the project. Now, in older versions of Android Studio, you would have been prompted to open the project, and if you see that dialog appear, just click OK. It's very likely that when you clone an Android Studio project, that you'll see this prompt asking you to upgrade your Android Gradle plugin. Android Studio is upgraded frequently, and whenever you download an existing repository, you should always click on Update if you see this dialog. This will ensure that your compiler compiling and packaging your application using a compatible version of Gradle. You might also see messages asking you to install additional Android Studio plugins. For example, this README file is written in a language called Markdown, the .md file extension is recognized, and Android Studio offers to install a plugin that would let you work with this file more easily. I'm going to ignore that extension, and then to verify that everything was downloaded correctly, I'll select Build,